A leader in the field of working with gifted children says, above all, keep in mind that the mark or the grade or the A+ or whatever is not what motivates a gifted child. What motivates them is an inner drive, an inner motivation. They have a drive to learn. They have a drive to know more. Today I'd like to talk to you about 7 things that you can do to help your child be a well-rounded child. If you want to enhance your child's learning abilities and eventually boost their academic life, it will take consistency, dedication, and a lot of patience. So I would like you to consider these 7 points that I'm sharing with you today and see how they fit into your life. Because of course you want to have a well-balanced, happy and healthy child who is really aware of their accomplishments and is going through it. So the first thing is, number 1, encourage special skills. What do I mean by that? Each child has a unique gifting and a unique talent. And they can show up in school life, those talents, but they also may not show up in school life. So it's very important for you to watch your little one, watch your child as they grow, and see if you can key into their particular uniqueness and their particular set of skills and talents. I mean, don't underestimate the unstructured playtime. I mean, the basketball hoops, the dancing around the living room, the tracking ants and outside as they're playing. Because these opportunities, play opportunities, provide wonderful times for intellectual growth, physical growth and personal development. For example, once when I was a young child, after school, for a whole month, I decided that I was going to create a library at home. We had lots of books. We had about 200 books. My mother loved books, but I gathered them from every room. My brothers, my sisters, they had to bring all their books to me. And as they brought their books, I spent a month categorizing them, organizing them, putting them on wonderful shelves, carding them. Everybody in the family had a library card. They couldn't get a book out unless they went through me. It was just, the whole month of organizing, displaying books and everything. I had a wonderful mother who actually allowed me to do that. But what did that show? I actually didn't have that ability to organize a whole library during school time. But it showed that my love for organisation. And that's one of the main talents now. I can organise anything. Close my eyes and organise it because I just love that. But your child will have something different, something special, something unique to them. It may not be, that they can sing or dance or, kick the football. It may be something different. It may be problem solving. It may be empathy. It may be the ability to bring the best out in other people. It may be able to smooth and negotiate things. They might end up being an amazing diplomat. So just watch out for those skills and nurture them. So number 2 is applaud and praise efforts. If a person's mindset is stuck, then they are stuck. If a person's mindset is open, then they are open to learning. So a person's mindset influences their behaviour. So praise your child for their hard work. Because you think that they have worked hard, don't just praise them because they're smart and talented for what they do. With a growth mindset, you are usually more able to face challenges because you've got that hard work ethic. And you also believe in acquiring new skills. We want that in our children. A leader in the field of working with gifted children says, above all, keep in mind that the mark or the grade or the A+ or whatever is not what motivates a gifted child. What motivates them is an inner drive, an inner motivation. They have a drive to learn. They have a drive to know more. And so usually the mark is secondary to that inner drive. So praise effort and applaud effort. Number 3, respect different learning styles. Now, I won't go into it much here, but some of you may know or have heard of Howard Gardner and the multiple intelligences. Well, there's all different ones like music and mathematical and logical and intrapersonal and interpersonal and linguistic, all different types of intelligences. So the trick is to pay attention to your child and see how they learn best. So you can identify their specific learning style. Because when you do, it will make learning easier for them. Say, for instance, they're trying to learn the times tables, the maths times tables. Or a child who's musically orientated, get them to sing the times tables. For the ones who are visually orientated or linguistically orientated, use flashcards. Check out their learning styles. Number 4. I think I always go on about this, but number 4 is important. Read, read, read. Because when it comes to reading, you cannot start too early. Reading to babies and keeping books at home encourages language development, reading skills and future success in education. Even if your child is too young to understand, they will understand the rhythm of the language. And they will understand the connection that you're making to those books. They're increasing their listening vocabulary. In fact, reading to a child has been proven to help them emotionally. A government-funded study from the United Kingdom found that 5-year-olds who were read to daily by their parents had far less behaviour problems at school. In fact, you could hardly see any behavioural problems from the children who were read to daily. Number 5, eat dinner together. Don't worry about your cooking skills, but just eat together, at least once a day. You will reap the educational benefits from this practice because there's great rewards in the conversation that happens as you eat a meal together. You know, you can talk about what was your day like. I mean, sometimes they go, oh, don't know, they can't remember. But you can lead on to other things. What are you doing in science? Who is your friend? Who did you play with? You know, did you have a sleep? What did you do? How are you going to study for that test? As they get older, you can ask those things. But all this talk around the dinner table lets your child know what is important in the family, what you value, and what are your thoughts. It opens up your thoughts to them. So a study from Columbia University showed that children who eat at least 5 meals a week with their families are more likely to achieve higher academic success and are less likely to develop eating disorders. So if everyone in the home is at different schedules, it's like that as if you've got teenagers and then young ones and all sorts of things. But if you are at different schedules, try and find a meal, a time in the day when you're at least together. It might be breakfast time, or it might be supper time really late, just before everyone goes to bed, but a time when you're all together where you can talk and discuss the day. You will reap the emotional benefits from your children, but also the academic benefits. Number 6, balance bedtime. Every night, your child needs to go to bed at roughly the same time each night. Establish a routine, because this highly affects educational success. Turn off the TV, the screens, whatever, 30 minutes before bedtime so that there can be that unwinding. Do you know that 62% of children admit that they use their devices after the lights go out? And their parents are clueless about this. They don't even tell them. So take the devices away at bedtime. Another research in Tel Aviv University found that missing 1 hour of sleep can be enough to reduce a child's cognitive abilities by almost 2 years. So that precious sleep time allows them to learn. And so imagine if you lost 1 hour's sleep time before a big test. So your 12-year-old would go into that test and actually perform as a 10-year-old, not their usual self. Make sure your children are having good sleep. And number 7, give lots and lots of hugs. Hugs help ease tension. There's nothing like human contact and that human touch to provide security. You know, in the prem baby ward nowadays, if mothers can't be with their prem babies, then they actually have volunteers come in, and they're called skin-to-skin volunteers. And so that they take that baby, that young child, and they hug them and have skin-to-skin contact. Our young children must have that. Working in an early childhood setting, if they're 2 years, 3 years, 18 months, whatever, they need hugs. They need touch. The younger they are, the more they need that. So studies of neglected children have shown that children who don't receive affection can suffer from chronic stress, and it can disturb parts of their brain, especially those involved with focusing, concentration, memory learning. A study in the American Journal of Public Health reports that touching another person gently has the power to alleviate symptoms, emotional, behavioural and physical, any symptoms related to stress. So your child needs you to hug them many, many times a day. Don't stifle them and don't hug them because you're trying to get your needs met. Hug them so that you can meet their needs, so that their brain can actually develop the way it's supposed to, and they can have educational success. And so they will grow up confident and capable. So those are just 7 of my tips about helping you create these most amazing children. Thank you.